This chapter introduces the most dangerous ghost of the American elite. Meeting Jeffrey Epstein isn't about sex or scandals. It's about information capital. For Eleanor, this is the moment she understands the difference between a rich real estate developer and a man who has world leaders by the throat.
There are two types of power in New York. The first is the kind that poses for Forbes. The second is the kind that never appears on camera. Jeffrey was the architect of the second. He didn't build buildings. He built traps. And he just invited me to be part of them.
Epstein, Miss Vance, your buildings change the skyline. But what interests me is what goes on inside those walls. You have excellent security systems, cameras, microphones. You keep recordings, right?
I save what has value, Jeffrey. And value is a subjective concept. Epstein doesn't reek of money. He reeks of blackmail. His intellect is a weapon, but his soul is a dump. I knew immediately, he's not an investor. He's a collector of other people's sins. He shows me photographs of princes, presidents, and scientists. Jeffrey explained his business model to me. It was a pyramid scheme, where the currency wasn't the dollar, but compromat. He gave these people what they wanted, access to the forbidden. And in exchange, he took away their freedom. He was a bank that issued loans through vice and collected interest through loyalty.
Epstein offers Eleanor to improve her relationships with banks through his connections.
He wants me to become his debtor. But I don't take loans from people who keep track of other people's perversions.
Dinner. The atmosphere is tense. Eleanor realizes that Jeffrey is trying to find a hook for her, too. Epstein. Everyone has a price. Eleanor. Even ice queens.
My price, Jeffrey, is that I know when to leave a party. You're building a network that will one day strangle you. You rely too much on human weakness. I rely on human greed. Greed is predictable. Weakness is chaotic. Many people ask why I wasn't included in his black book. The answer is simple. I don't buy assets that can explode. Epstein was a genius broker, but he forgot the cardinal rule of power in the US. If you know too much about the powerful, you become a liability to be written off. I built my skyscrapers on concrete. He built his castle on secrets. Concrete lasts for centuries. Secrets kill their owner. Jeffrey couldn't take no for an answer. In his world, refusal simply meant the price wasn't high enough. When I walked out of his mansion without leaving him a shred of dirt on me, I officially became a threat to him. He moved quickly. My construction loans were suddenly pending review, and ghosts began appearing in my personal life.
Eleanor notices that her surroundings are changing. The waiters at her favorite clubs, the new masseurs at the spa, the random passers-by. They're all suspiciously beautiful, suspiciously young, and suspiciously persistent. An evening at Eleanor's penthouse. She's introduced to her new assistant, Adrian. He's 20, with the eyes of an angel and the manners of a prince. He's perfect. Too perfect.
Jeffrey thought I was predictable. He assumed a strong woman my age would suffer from loneliness and crave youthful sex. He sent me Adrian. The boy played his part perfectly, admiring glances, casual touches, a willingness to fulfill any whim. But I didn't see a young man. I saw a microphone hidden behind a beautiful smile.
Eleanor plays along. She allows Adrian to get closer, but every conversation they have in the bedroom is a carefully orchestrated performance for those listening on the other end of the line. She misinforms them, feeding them false financial schemes.
Sex is the only transaction where you let your partner think they're negotiating while you slowly tighten the noose around their neck. I'm not making love. I'm making consumption.
She stood by the window, sensing his presence behind her. Adrian, or whoever it was, today came close. She saw his reflection in the glass, young, athletic, his breathing ragged, betraying his excitement. Eleanor didn't turn around. She waited for his hand to touch her shoulder. When it happened, his skin felt scalding against the cool silk of her dress. She slowly turned her head, her gaze, cold and searching, meeting his blazing ones. "Did you come here to win?" she whispered, her voice vibrating with a low, dangerous undertone. "Then show me how willing you are to lose." She spun around, running her fingers through his hair, and pulled him to her. The kiss wasn't gentle. It was a clash. The taste of expensive whiskey and pure desire. Her lips demanded submission. Her tongue dictated the terms. He picked her up, pressing her against the cold marble of the console. The contrast between his hot body and the icy stone wrung a short, broken moan from her. Eleanor felt the silk of her dress slip from her shoulders, revealing skin accustomed to only the best. His hands were rough, but that was exactly what she wanted, to feel the raw, primal desire beneath the facade of decorum. Every movement he made was like a signature on a document. When he entered her, the world outside ceased to exist. Only the rhythm remained, hard, powerful, inexorable. She arched, digging her nails into his back, leaving her marks of ownership. "Look at me," she commanded as the tension reached its breaking point. She wanted to see his face at the moment of orgasm. She wanted to see his will break, how he dissolved into her. In that moment, he wasn't a spy or a lover. He was her territory. She controlled his every movement, every flash of pleasure, directing his energy where she needed it. The end came suddenly, like a stock market crash. A loud, deep exhalation, a tremor in her muscles, and a silence in which only the beating of two hearts could be heard. Eleanor tilted her head back, looking at the city lights. She felt renewed. She hadn't just enjoyed herself. She'd audited his soul. Eleanor invites Adrian into her office. On the desk is a folder with his real name and the history of his family's debts, which Jeffrey used to force him to work for him.
Sit down, Adrian. Your hidden cameras in my watch are already disabled. Your patron thinks you're going to hit the jackpot today, but instead, You'll be withdrawing your testimony against him. He's yesterday. I'm your future. I've already paid off the mortgage on your mother's house. Now you work for me. And tomorrow you'll return to him with a record that will be the end of him.
Eleanor sits in a car outside Epstein's mansion. She watches as Adrian enters, carrying the incriminating evidence, which is actually a virus for Jeffrey's servers.
Jeffrey made a fundamental mistake. He tried to lust after me, forgetting that my only erogenous zone is power. He sent me boys to ruin my reputation, and I ended up using them to hack his archives. In this game, the winner isn't the one who sets the best traps, but the one who knows that every trap has a loophole for the hunter. Never send a sheep to kill a lioness. The lioness will simply make it part of her pack.